Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Seth. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I have 3 piles to choose from for you guys. We're going to be asking the question, how does your boss feel about you at the time you're finding this reading, and are you going to get that raise? We'll ask that question towards the end. This is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave what does not. This is also timeless, like I said, so whenever you find it, it should resonate for you. I have 3 piles, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Take a moment if you need to, pause the video if you want, and I will see you at your reading. Timestamps will be in the description. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose this Everyday Witch Tarot, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be asking, how does your boss or supervisor feel about you, and will you be getting that raise? This is a general reading, like I said at the beginning, so please take what resonates, leave what does not. And if you'd like a personal reading, my email will be in the description. This is also timeless, so whenever you find it, it should resonate for you. I also have other readings available as well, love readings, as well as career readings. But you all seem to like the career ones more, so I figured I'd post another one of these. So, for pile number 1, Spirit, how does their boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? How does pile number 1's boss, supervisor, feel about them? We have the Emperor and the 5 of Pentacles. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? We have the 8 of Cups. So, so for some of you, you might have quit, or you're thinking about quitting, or you talked about quitting. But they see you as standing in your power, and they feel like if you do leave, it's going to be a loss. Because we do have the 5 of Pentacles here. The 5 of Pentacles is that energy. Let me switch this light around so you can see the cards, so I can show you better. This card, the 5 of Pentacles, is about, being out in the cold, so with it next to the Emperor here, it's like they see you as a very high value employee, worker, person. I don't know what your job is, but, they see you as like they feel like you might be walking away, or maybe you were talking about walking away, something like that, and they're either afraid to lose you, or maybe they already have. I don't know. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them? We have the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so they feel like you are taking matters into your own hands. I don't know, maybe you guys are like either fed up. I don't know if you're fed up, or maybe you're just moving on to bigger, better things with this Wheel of Fortune here. Like, they feel like, you've, maybe even outgrown the place that you work at. And so they feel like they want you to stay, because I feel like they want you to, they like you. I mean, they do like you. Especially with this Emperor here, they see you as a hard worker. They see you as someone who can get things done. You're not a procrastinator. You step up when you need to. You don't... I feel like a lot of you probably are like senior at your job. Like you've been there for a long time is what I mean by senior. Like you have like tenure. And even if you haven't left this job, they just feel like you would be a loss if you left. Maybe they like really they depend on you. Like if they lost you, it would be a loss for sure. That's just kind of what I keep getting. Coffee makes the world go round. Let me get some more cards. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them? King of Swords. Yeah, so they see you as someone who's really, really wise, someone who's really knowledgeable, someone who knows their ish. And the Strength card, yeah. They feel like you don't get overwhelmed with the tasks that they give you. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them? We have the 7 of Wands, yeah, and you don't put up with nothing. Like, I feel like for a lot of you, you've been there for a long time, and you know the you know, like the hidden things that they don't really like to talk about. Like the little hidden secrets about about the position, and so they know that you know that, and they know that you're not going to put up with that. And for some of you, that could have been the reason why, like, you're just like fed up and maybe even moving on. For some of you, for others of you, it's just they know that you're not going to put up with no ish. So, how does pot number one's boss feel about them? The emperor. Wow, we have the emperor and the empress. So they feel like you are like made for this job. They feel like this is like you are like the perfect person for this position, is how they feel about you. Because the emperor and the empress are married in the tarot deck. So they see you as like being perfect, the perfect candidate for whatever you do. I don't know what you do, but whatever you do, they feel like you were like grade A for that. How does pot number one's boss feel about them? And the Page of Cups. Yeah, they see you as someone who's just very, like, I feel like for a lot of you, sometimes you stay quiet, even if you don't, like, you just, like, you try to stay, either you stay humble or something, like, or you just keep fresh ideas flowing in. Like, you keep fresh, things coming in. Like, sometimes, like, they get so stuck to the mundane ways of doing things, and I feel like, you're very, very intelligent here with this King of Swords, and you're able to, bring fresh, new ideas to the workplace, whatever you do. Like, even if you work for yourself, or like even if you or even like if like it's something that doesn't really, even if you have like a job that doesn't require like a lot of new things coming, new ideas being brought up all the time, like you just somehow you know keep it fresh. You keep it fresh in some way. I don't know, take that how that resonates. um or something like that. Like, or like, they also feel like maybe like your way of doing things is maybe a little bit different from other people's, but they like it. Like maybe you do something different than what your coworkers do, and some other people would be like, "Oh, that's not the right way to do it," but somehow it works for you in some way, and they like it. So that might be confirmation for some of you. All right, let's go ahead and ask, are you going to get the raise? Are you going to get that raise? Oh, let me shuffle first. Are you going to get that raise? Or that, promotion, whatever resonates for you in your situation. I don't know what your job is, so. All right. Are you going to get that raise / promotion for pot number one? Is pot number one going to get that raise, promotion? Ten of Swords. For a lot of you, I feel like you guys are leaving, so maybe they're like, well, they don't even want it. They don't even want it because they're leaving. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like they would if you guys were more in a more like if you planned on doing this more long term, I'm feeling like, then they definitely would. How would this, or would pile number one get the promotion, get the Nine of Swords? Would pile number one get that raise or promotion? Got two cards. We have the Strength card and the Five of Cups. So I'm feeling like if you were to commit to staying there longer, then yes. But since you don't plan on being there for long, because we do have the Five of Cups, which is about loss, leaving, missing something. The Ten of Swords is about an ending. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety. The Nine of Pentacles is about, chasing financial independence, and the Strength card is about stepping into your power, and, and it's right next to the Five of Cups. So that's like moving on, having the courage to be like, all right, I'm ready for the next step. I'm ready to, take my chances, see what it's like with, losing maybe this position, but, or not losing, but like, like resigning, you know? So, I feel like the answer is no, but it's because you're not planning on staying there for very long. Like, for some of you, this job is just a temp job, you know? And so they don't think that you're going to be there for long enough for it to, for them to, or for it to be worth it to give you that for some of you. I don't take that how that resonates. But yeah, I think it just has to do with your future plans. So, yeah, I hope this resonated. If it didn't, you can select a different pile. Sometimes I select the wrong pile whenever I watch tarot readings. And if it did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment how you thought about it, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose this Rider-Waite tarot deck, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be asking Spirit, how does your boss feel about you, and will you be getting that raise/promotion towards the end? This is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave what does not. If this is your first time here, my name is Seth, and I'm an intuitive tarot reader. Like I said in the beginning, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And this is also timeless, so whenever you're finding it, it should resonate for you. So, without further ado, for pile number 2, how does pile number 2's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? Hope you guys are doing well today. How does pile number 2's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? Alright. How does pile number 2's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? We have the King of Pentacles. See you as stable so far. How does pile number 2's boss feel about them? We have the Five of Swords and the Lovers. Okay. How does pile number 2's boss feel about them? How does pile number 2's boss feel about them? We have the Queen of Wands and the Fool. Okay, so... so they see you as someone who's very stable and very devoted to what you do and highly skilled, and you're not afraid to take risks. That's what my my immediate... Yeah, that's what I'm feeling from the start, is they see you as very, very stable. For some of you, you've done this for a long time. You have a lot of experience, and that gets you... I'm almost here, like, that gets you, like, leeway on a lot of things. Like, I feel like a lot of you get away with a lot of stuff. Because we do have the Five of Swords, which can be about bullying. So they could see you as, like, a bully. But maybe you do it with good intentions. Maybe it's like bullying with good intentions, because it's right next to the Lovers. So this, even if that doesn't resonate for you, let's say, like, you're not a bully. They just see you as someone who you have certain types of moves that can be questionable in some type of... Hey, I don't know what you do. I don't know what your job is. But for some of you, maybe you take shortcuts. Sorry, my hand was in the way, blocking the cards. Maybe you take shortcuts in some type of way. Like, it's like if there's a way to make something easier, like, you're gonna do that. And I think that just comes with experience, because I feel like a lot of you have done whatever you're asking about for a long time. And I feel like you get a lot of... you've gained a lot of accolades throughout the years. I mean, for some of you, you could have been doing you could be, have done this job for like 10, 15, 20 years for some of you. And your boss sees you as someone who's very devoted to what you do. Like, you've put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, you've made a lot of sacrifices for this job. You have, maybe even put other things on the line to, keep this job. Yeah, so let me ask some more. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? How does pile number 1's boss feel about them? We have the Eight of Swords. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? The Moon and the Hanged Man. Okay, so for some of you, they could be, maybe you get a little bit quiet and then they start to worry, you know, but maybe they don't check on you. Maybe you don't even see this boss. Maybe like you have like a job where like you don't have to see this boss very much, and so maybe they don't feel like they know, they can't keep up with you very well. Like maybe you have a lot of like freedom, because we do have the Fool, which can be a sign of freedom. So, maybe you have like, I was saying leeway earlier, but maybe that's like, like they wish they could maybe watch you more or see you more. But maybe you have like I don't know, maybe like a truck driver. I don't know if you're a truck driver or like maybe you're in the travel industry or I don't know, maybe I don't know what you do. Maybe an ambulance. Maybe you work in the ambulance service or something like that. Maybe you work in a job where your boss doesn't have to see you all the time. You see your boss. You're in contact with them, but they don't supervise you all the time. And so they put a lot of faith and a lot of trust in you. That's why that's another, that's why that Lover's card could be here. And with this Five of Swords, this just could be like, it worries them that maybe they can't supervise you all the time. And so with this Fool card, they trust you. The Fool card is also about trust. So, even though they aren't able to supervise you, they aren't able to see you all the time, or, take that how that resonates for your situation. But, regardless, they feel like they can trust you, or they feel like they have to be able to trust you because they have no other choice but to be okay with not being able to see you all the time. All right. So how does pile number 2's boss feel about them? How does pile number 2's boss feel about that? We have the 8 of Wands. So they see you as a hard worker, someone who shows up to work, someone who gets things done. How does pile number 1's boss feel about them? And the 5 of Pentacles. So maybe they feel like you don't get paid enough. Maybe you have been in the job for a long time. And we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Here's the Divine. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Anyways. Oh, and the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. So, these are good cards for a career reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are good. Oh, and the 9 of Pentacles. This is also good for a career reading. So, yeah, they like you. I mean, bottom line, they like you. And they appreciate you. They trust you. They see you as someone who's devoted. The only kind of trouble that I'm seeing here is that maybe they don't get to see you a lot, or maybe they aren't able to, supervise you all the way, and so maybe that gives them a little bit of worry. But other than that, they have a lot of faith and trust in you. They put a lot of responsibility. They give you a lot of responsibility, I feel like, and they trust you with that. But maybe they feel like they don't pay you enough. What is the 5 of Pentacles here? Why is the 5 of Pentacles here? The 3 of Pentacles. So, yeah. Yeah, I feel like they talk about this with others. They're like, they want. It's like they talk to other people about compensating you more or something like that, because there's 3 people here, and this is collaboration here, the 3 of Pentacles. So, it's like they notice here with the 5 of Pentacles that maybe you are not taken care of well enough, and that's definitely on their mind. That is definitely on their mind here, and I feel like they may not talk about it all the time. Like, this might not be their top priority list with the 3 of Pentacles clarifying it, but it has definitely come up in conversation before. It has definitely come up in conversation before. Like, I wish I could do better for pile 2, whatever your name is. I don't know your name. There's probably going to be, many people watching this, but, specific reading. Anyways, so, they think about that. All right, let me go into the other tarot deck here. We're going to ask, are you going to get that raise? Are you going to get a promotion? Are you going to be better compensated? Are you going to get a promotion? Are you going to get a raise? Is pile number 2 going to get that promotion or that raise? Is pile number 2 going to get the promotion or that raise? We have the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, the Devil is all about materialistic matters. The Devil is all about the tangible, physical things in life. And the Wheel of Fortune is like, it's due to happen. Like, it's like actively in motion, you know? And the Devil is about, you know, the material wealth things, you know? Because, I mean, technically in the Bible, you know, those material wealth things are associated with, you know, evil and stuff like that. Not saying that you're evil or anything like that, but that's what that's associated with, you know? And so that's why the Devil is here. So I'd say yes. So it is definitely in motion. They're definitely talking about it. Is pile number 2 going to get that raise? We have the 7 of Cups. Is pile number 2 going to get that raise or promotion? Is pile number 2 going to get that raise or the promotion? We have the 8 of Cups. Is pile number 2 going to get that raise or that promotion? The Hierophant and the 5 of Cups. Okay. So it might take a while for some of you, you know, and for some of you, it might be like on a time schedule, you know, like for example, like if you've been doing this job, let's say, for example, 5 years. So in 5 years, this is the set wage. And then whenever your 6th year anniversary comes around, then you get that raise. So I feel like for some of you, it might just be like you have to hold out for a waiting period. But with this Wheel of Fortune here, like it's going to eventually get there. But with the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups, it might take a little while, and it might be on a like set time because the Hierophant is about structure. It's about like legal or religious factors. But whenever I think about that kind of stuff, it makes me think of like a very rigid, book, like they're going by the book, like, this is when this is supposed to happen. That's when that's supposed to happen. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? So I think that it's a yes, but it's gonna take a little while because I feel like it has a time that is like very, very strict. Like it's a very strict time whenever that will happen. But I think that in due time it will. But it might take a little while. All right, I hope this resonated. If it didn't, you can select a different pile that I have on this video, or I also have other career readings that I have posted before, and I'll hopefully be able to post some more soonish. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pal number 3. If you chose this Game of Thrones tarot deck, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be asking Spirit, how does your boss feel about you? And then towards the end, we're going to be asking, will you get that raise? Will you get that promotion? This is a general reading. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. This is also timeless, so whenever you're finding it, it should resonate for you. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Seth. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. How does pile number 3's boss feel about them at the time they're finding this reading? How did pile number 3's boss feel about them at the time they are finding this reading? How does pile number 3's boss feel about them at the time they are finding this reading? How does pile number 3's boss feel about them at the time of finding this reading? If you don't like this shuffling, you can always fast forward. How does pile number 3's boss feel about them? We have the Ace of Cups. Wow, it's a good start. How does pile number 3's boss feel about them? The Page of Swords. The Page of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, this boss might have a crush on you. I don't know if this resonates. If that doesn't resonate, then they just feel very, very sweet towards you. Like they really, really like you. They could see that maybe you are just starting out. Like you're brand new to the field for some of you. And so, maybe they don't have a crush on you, but they do they are sensitive towards you because they know that you're new, for some of you. How does pile number three's boss feel about them? How does pile number three's boss feel about them? We have the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Swords. Okay. So, the Knight of Cups. So, they see you as either, like, they feel like you're really, really sweet, and you're really, really kind, and they just see that you're just, you always seem to have a positive attitude. With the Seven of Swords, maybe they feel like maybe they feel like they don't really know you all that well yet, and so they feel like they don't know, maybe they feel like that you could be hiding something. It might not even be something that's bad, but maybe they feel like they haven't figured you all the way out yet, and so they're just, being patient to kind of figure out what that could be. Or maybe they're just kind of waiting and seeing. Like, maybe you you wrote a bomb resume, and so they're just waiting to see if that resume turns out to be, like if you could fulfill the things that you wrote on the resume. If this was a job that didn't require a resume, then they may just not know a whole lot about you yet, and so that's why they're just kind of holding out to see what's gonna happen from what's gonna happen from here. How does pile number three's boss feel about them? The Ten of Swords, traitor. Okay, so I was feeling like there was like this feeling of like hiding something, and so for some of you, they feel like that either they owe you an apology or you owe them an apology, because there is a lot of feelings here. Maybe they feel like maybe they either they misjudged you, or you misjudged them, or there was some kind of a disagreement for some of you, or maybe there was like some kind of a challenge or something like that. And then we have the Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like they're not done with you, because I feel like they're still willing to invest in you and put in their time. So I don't know. Let me get a clarifying card for this Ten of Swords. What is this Ten of Swords here for? The High Priestess. So maybe you already know, or maybe they're it kind of goes with this Seven of Swords energy that I was like, they feel like they don't know everything. They feel like you could be hiding something. I don't know. For some of you, you might have done something wrong. Now, only take that if that resonates. Only if you know in your heart that you did something wrong, take that. But if you didn't, then just ignore that. Maybe this is just them not really knowing everything about you, and this could be just a fear of theirs, and they have their guard up because you are new. Because I was picking up this new energy here with this Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And the Page of Swords, too. The Page of Swords is a student. The Page of Swords is a apprentice. It is an apprentice. So I feel like they're wanting to give you a shot. They're wanting to give you the benefit of the doubt, and they're wanting to see where this can go, and they see you as an investment, but for some of you, they also see you as maybe even a risk, but it's a risk that they're willing to take. It's a risk that they're willing to take, but they don't know what the, product is going to be of that risk. How does pile number three's boss feel about them? The Ten of Coins. Okay, so yeah, the Ten of Coins is a good card. So they see you as someone who's worth investing in, They see you as someone who's worth putting in time and effort into training. They see you as someone who's worth training. Yeah. How does pile number three's boss feel about them? How does pile number three's boss feel about them? Pile number three's boss. You have the Nine of Coins. Yeah, so they see you as someone who's, trying to get places. Like, they see you as going somewhere. They see you as someone who's, chasing that bag, trying to get your money up, working hard, staying focused, and they I feel like they have a lot of faith in you. How does pile number three's boss feel about them? The King of Coins. Okay, so yeah, I mean, they see you as someone who is worth investing in. I can't express that enough. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is like you're new to this field, or this is like a brand new job, and you're trying to see how do they feel about you. Well, they like you. They really are happy with you. They feel like they don't know you that well, and they're trying to figure you out. You know, the High Priestess is about the things that we don't know, and they don't want to be led down the wrong path, or be led down the wrong way, because I feel like for some of you, this boss, they could have had people that they hired, and then they ended up screwing them over in some way. Maybe they stole something from the workplace. Maybe there was people that were doing some bad things in the workplace. There could have been people sneaking around, lying to them, misconduct of some way. Not saying that you did that, but this could just be like them watching out for that for you, and so they feel like you, I don't think that they feel like you would do that. They see you as innocent, because we do have the Page of Cups here. The Page of Cups is a very innocent energy, and so is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a very sweet, kind energy. So, they see you as that. And with the Ten of Coins, they see you as someone who's very stable, someone who's reliable, someone who, especially with the King of Coins, the King of Coins is Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. So that they see you as someone who's dependable, someone that they could, rely on, potentially trust. They're working on trusting you, They're working on trust. How does pile number 3's boss feel about them? Temperance. Yeah, they're waiting. They're waiting to see what happens. They don't really know what's going to happen with you, but they're waiting. And the 6 of, I think it's Wands in this deck? No, yeah, Wands. So the 6 of Wands. Yeah, so they're hoping that, after they hire you, or if they've already hired you, I'm assuming, that they hope that it's successful. They hope that, the energy that they put into you, the work that they put into training you, or, orienting you to what you're, whatever you applied for, they're hoping that works out, well, and that you, do good. Yeah, I said God. For some of you, you have like a really like religious boss. For some of you, like they hope that you can, hold up their values. They hope that you can hold up their values and follow their rules. And, if, I mean, I don't know what you do, but I feel like for some of you, you have like a really religious boss. All right. So will you get that raise? Will you get that promotion? Will you get that raise? Will you get the promotion? The 2 of Wands. Will you get that raise? Will you get that promotion? And the 9 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Will you get that raise? Will you get that promotion? We have the 2 of Pentacles. Will you get that raise? Will you get the promotion? Pile number 3. Yeah, the 8 of Cups. All right, so I feel like not right now, but it's not a no. If that makes, like it's not because they don't want to give it to you. It's just like it's not the right time to do that, because the 2 of Wands is about a choice, and the 9 is one step away from completion. 10 is the number of completion. So 10 would be you're like, you're there. 9 is like you're almost there, but the 9 is, I'm just noticing at the bottom here, there's this little snail at the bottom here. You see it? I've never noticed that before, but I am now. This is very, very slow. Very, very slow. So they feel like you need to put in more time. You need to put in more effort. And it's not because you haven't been. I don't think it's because you've been slacking off, because I feel like a lot of you just started. So, like this is something that's gonna you're gonna have to reevaluate in the future. So I actually don't have an answer for you right now about the raise. I mean, I feel like right now it's a no, but it's not a permanent no. Like, this is still up in the air because the Two of Pentacles, I mean, he's juggling this. And, you know, the ships in the background, they're riding these waves, and it's like very unpredictable. It's very unpredictable. So, um, for right now, I feel like you're not going to get any more further than what you already are right now. But, you know, with this little tiny little snail here, I feel like maybe in the future, maybe in the far future, you know, if you put in that work, if you put in the work, if you, you know, learn the concept, if you, you know, learn the trade a little bit more, you know, I feel like, you know, in the future, you possibly could, but this is not set in stone. So, all right, I think that's all I have for you, pile number 3. I hope this resonated. If it didn't, you can select a different pile that I have posted on this video, or you can watch a different reading. I think I have another couple career readings that I've posted before. See if those resonate for you. And I'll be posting some more here soon, hopefully. I just recently started posting again. So, anyways, if this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I did, and let me know how you liked it. And I will see you again in another reading. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.